I'm Stephanie McWilliam, and I'm concerned about the loss of freedoms that we are experiencing in this country. If I take as an example the European Arrest Warrant, not many people know that we now have this in place, which means that people can be arrested in this country and extradited to other European countries to stand trial when they may know nothing about it. Two cases that show how this can occur are Andrew Symeou, who has been arrested and extradited to Greece on the charge of manslaughter. Now, despite the fact that there was no evidence presented, our legal system in this country had no means to prevent his extradition. A similar case several years ago was that of Joseph Mendy, who was arrested in the Canary Islands on suspicion of counterfeiting €50 notes. Again, no evidence found or presented, and yet he was extradited. Now, this is a result of legislation from the European Union that was written by Graham Watson, the South West Liberal Democrat MEP. I don't know if he had any thought how this could affect British citizens. Either he felt it was a price worth paying for the presumably anti-terrorist benefits, or it was a result of the lack of scrutiny. And this is one of the big problems that we have with the way the European Union conducts its work. Legislation can be written, it can be approved by commissioners, by the European Council, but when it goes before the European Parliament, where it's voted on by the MEPs, there is no opportunity for sensible debate. There is insufficient scrutiny. If there was, presumably this legislation would not have been passed in its current form. But it's with us now, and we are all going to have to learn to live with it. This is why I feel that there is reason to be very concerned about our loss of democracy. If the European Union has good ideas and great benefits, it should be possible to present those to the people, and the people will vote in favour of it. But if they're not confident that the people will support it, then they go ahead with these things without the consent of the electorate. In this country, whilst our parliamentary democracy is not perfect, I admit that, we do at least have the opportunity, come a general election, to vote people out. If we're not happy about the way that they are looking after the country and governing us, if we feel that they are wasting too much public money, they are not showing sufficient probity with taxpayers' money, then we can throw them out at the next election. We can't do that with the European Union, and as a result there will be more loss of liberties, more poor legislation such as the European Arrest Warrant, and we will have no opportunity to throw out the people responsible. It's this lack of democracy that is actually driving all the other problems with the European Union, and why it would be so much better for all of us, not just the British, but the French, the Germans, the Italians, the Romanians, the Bulgarians, all the other countries. If it was democratic, it would then be accountable. If it was accountable, they would not have trouble signing off their accounts. Legislation would be scrutinised. And all the benefits that we take for granted at the moment in this country, we could have from the European Union. If that's not possible, there's something fundamentally wrong with what they're trying to achieve. And we should all think about this very carefully before the European elections in June this year.